I learned the other day that Liederkranz, the unbearably smelly cheese from upstate New York, had gone out of business. To my surprise, I felt sad. About once every 6 months during my childhood in the 50s, I'd be awakened late at night by the stink of Liederkranz coming from the kitchen over 30 feet away. It would be my father, wrestling with his insomnia, having a midnight snack. I'd always associated wonderful aromas with my father, but this was a solid wall of stench that said, "Stand clear." Even more surprising, he seemed to love it. I'd tiptoed to the threshold of the kitchen once and seen him at the table, laying his Liederkranz to rest on crackers and apple slices, and munching with a distant, dreamy smile. Sometimes the following day I'd find the rind of that cheese reeking like a roadkill in the garbage, and wonder how it tasted. But I never had the courage to find out. It would lie there, like one more mystery between my father and me, separating the men from the boys, and the mysterious, solitary pleasures of adulthood from the world of childhood and cherry cokes. I never did develop a taste for stronger cheeses, but every once in a while, in a restaurant years later, the sharp smell of someone's Liederkranz would spear me by the nose and take me back to the memory of those nights in the kitchen when I was a child, with my father on one side of his Liederkranz and me on the other, far away. I realize now, of course, it wasn't the Liederkranz I wanted to get close to back then, but him. He was a proud and private man who never showed his feelings. By the time I knew him, he was living through the bitterest years in his life, blacklisted and ill, barely able to work more than a few hours a day or make enough to support the family. For all his progressive political views, I think it hurt him not to be the breadwinner and to have to see his wife go off to work. This was the 50s, after all, when men were supposed to be men. I'd like to think Liederkranz gave him a touch of the comfort he asked for from no one, a moment of extravagance his heart condition and pocketbook could ill afford, even a chance to thumb his nose at the world. I'm only guessing, of course. He died when I was 17, and we never really talked. Still, I know he appreciated a strong opinion as much as a strong cheese. So although I never ate Liederkranz, and now probably never will, I'd like to say that in some sense I've tasted it all my life, and in my opinion it was a most delicious cheese, full of the sharp savor of solitude and pride, and a sweet hint of the things a father and his grown son might have said to each other some night in the kitchen, if only they'd had the time.